Exhilarating sports talk coming up next on The Doug Stewart Show in about 2 minutes. Stay tuned. We're about to have some fun. That's right. Sports talk, guy talk, right here on The Doug Stewart Show. Show coming up in about a minute and a half. Hold on. You have entered a no puppet zone. That's right, no puppetry around here. The Doug Stewart Show coming up in about 1 minute. The realest, treeless, most unfiltered sports and guy talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show coming up in about 30 seconds. Yes!
Doctor, this is the mayor talking.
All right.
Doctor,
Come on, what?
always do the right thing.
If you came here to hear for fake, you are in the wrong place. We are for real around here. We keeps it real. This is the Doug Stewart Show, the livest, the realest, the trillest sports talk show in America. Are you not entertained? This is Sports Talk with Hot Sauce. Texas Pete Hot Sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Game time. Yeah, it's game time, baby. What's happening? Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Throwback Thursday. Thank you for joining your folk. Really do appreciate it. Shouts out to all of the Stewies already in the chat room. Doing their thug thizzle. Like my brother Ron used to say, doing their thug thizzle. Thank you so much for joining your boy on the Doug Stewart Show. Bring that beat back one more time, though. Bring that beat back. Yes, sir. Yeah. What up, Vince Wright, Cedric Galloway, Duckin, Heat fan, Texas Ty, good morning to you. Good morning. Yeah. A lot of great things planned for you today, as we do every single day. And going to be real interesting, man. Thank you so much for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yes, sir. Good morning. So, a ton of things that we want to get to today, and you see today's title of the show. One thing we're going to do is tell the truth around here. I'll get to that here in a second, but if you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, man, what took you so long? First of all, that's the question I got to ask. What the hell took you so long? Because we do it big around here, man. We have a lot of fun around here, man. Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. If you're new to the show and to the network, one thing you need to do, or a couple of things you need to do, you need to go on Spreaker.com. If you're not listening on Spreaker right now, maybe you're listening on my app or on the website. But go to Spreaker.com and click on the follow button. All right, so follow the show. So whenever the show goes live, you'll be alerted, whether that's my show or the Kicking It with Kissy show or the Grizz that was on yesterday or Poe Politicking that come on the network. We air other shows on the network. You'll be alerted. All right, so make sure you follow the network. And then you also need to click on the chat bubble, all right, and it takes you into the chat room. We have the best chat room in all of sports and guy talk. Yes, sir. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We do. So hit that button and jump in the chat room, create your little account. It takes like a second or two, and then put your little avatar out there, your little Doug Stewart Show handle. And I read a lot of your chat messages throughout the show, and we have a great time doing that. The show is 100% interactive. All right, the most interactive show in America. In effect, the Stewies, that's what I call the people in the chat room, are kind of like my co-hosts. They're kind of like my wingmen. So I read a lot of the chat. It kind of lends to, discussion and things that we're talking about in the show. So make sure you do that. We really would appreciate it. Become a Stewie. Shouts out to Kesey, as a matter of fact. Yesterday, he did his show on the network, the top 5 rappers of all time. He talked about the top 5 female MCs of all time. He did Southern rappers. I mean, that's right up my wheelhouse. Number 1 all time. He had Biggie, I believe he did. And so shouts out to Kesey. We also had yesterday on the network the Grizz, my man Rashad Grismore from Cali. I know y'all Lakers haters hated that. Real passionate talking about the Lakers. The title of his show was I Hate Golden State. So real good stuff yesterday, man. As a matter of fact, and I don't know if you knew it or not, and maybe I should tell you this more often, but you can go back and listen to any show on the network. As a matter of fact, each show that comes on the network has its own space on StewartMediaAndEntertainment.com as well as on Spreaker.com. So if you go to Spreaker, go into Stewart Media and Entertainment, you'll see a little tab that says shows, and if you click that, it'll show all the other shows that have been broadcasted on the network, and every episode that they've had is listed there as well. So make sure you go back and check out the Grizz as well as the Kicking It with Kesey show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. All right. So the number to the show, you can also call old school style, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. But once again, the easy way to do it is to just hit me up in the chat room on Spreaker.com. A couple things we're going to hit today, man. Christian McCaffrey getting jobbed. Dana White calling the shots for UFC. Latest on Johnny Manziel, we'll talk about that. Dez Bryant has a bright idea. Dabo Sweeney dabbing on them fools. Yes. As well as Rick sipping on cocktails down in Miami. We'll hit all of those things today. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. On the Tuesday broadcast of Pardon the Interruption on ESPN, co-host Michael Wilbon reacted to 3 Heisman Trophy finalists being named, calling Stanford running back Christian McCaffrey the best player in college football by far. Even though Wilbon said McCaffrey was the best, he speculated McCaffrey, who is white, would receive more hype and attention if he were not a white running back. A white running back at the college level and higher has become a rarity in recent years, although Stanford's Toby Gerhardt, also white, was a Heisman finalist in 2009 when he finished runner-up at Alabama's Mark Ingram. Stereotypes, this is a quote from Mike Wilbon, stereotypes become deeply held conversations for a great many people, explained Wilbon. To me, in order, in sports, boxing, and then basketball, and then football. These are places where African-American men acceptable in some parts and no other place in conventional life are accepted above all else in those things, boxing, basketball, now football. All right, and you hear me scratching my beard. You hear me scratching my beard. Let me say this, and the reason I didn't see this actual episode yesterday at PTI, I watch the show all the time, I like that show, but somebody mentioned this whole conversation on my social media, and I, in effect, responded in this way, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Let me just say this for the record, All right, very clearly and very precisely. All right, this is the best way I can put this. I disagree with Mike Wilbon vehemently. Okay, in America, make sure I'm saying this the right way. In America, there is not one scenario or one thing that you can say or one instance in this country's history that being white is a negative. Let me repeat that one more time. There is not one scenario, one instance that you can tell me about that being white has been a detriment to said white person. All right? There's not. Okay? So the fact that Christian McCaffrey is white and he's a running back and he's probably not going to win the Heisman, to me, has nothing to do with the fact that he's white. It's because of, for whatever reason there is, and I don't know what it is, maybe because he's young, maybe because he's a sophomore, maybe because he plays on the West Coast. We talked about that whole West Coast thing. Maybe because a lot of his stats are return yards, especially teams yards. I don't know what it is. Maybe people that are looking at college football maybe just feel like that he's not as good as Derrick Henry or Deshaun Watson. By the way, we haven't even had the award ceremony yet, so we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what it is. But there's a matter of fact, he talked about, it being more accepted, black men being more accepted in boxing and in basketball and in football nowadays. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah, maybe because that's all handled right there in that specific sport. Like in boxing. You're in a boxing ring. It's man on man. It's mano a mano. There's no personal biases that come in place, even though there's bad judging a lot of times. There's no personal biases that come into place in boxing because you know why? You handle it in effect in the ring. Okay? So any ambiguity about who won or who's better, that doesn't come into play. Same thing with basketball. It's all handled on the court. There's no determination from a personal standpoint on who's better. You handle it on the field, and that's the great thing about sports, okay? Same thing with football, all right? We know that. And even to the fact that if you really be honest with yourself and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and this is just real talk, as a matter of fact, being white actually has helped athletes in sports attain more of a brand, of a bigger name. All right, you talk about boxing. There's always this phrase out there that you talk about the great white hope. Jerry Cooney, this was this big thing about Jerry Cooney back in the day about could he beat, who was it? Larry Holmes, okay? And Larry Holmes went on to kick his ass several times, and Jerry Cooney was not a competitor even to Larry Holmes. But the point is his status was elevated because he was white. Same thing in basketball. A lot of people talk about Larry Bird. I remember the whole thing with Isaiah Thomas, when Isaiah Thomas said if Larry Bird wasn't white, he wouldn't be regarded as highly as he is. Now, I don't technically agree with Isaiah Thomas. I don't. I definitely don't agree with Isaiah Thomas. I think Larry Bird, I just talked about him a couple of days ago, is one of the greatest basketball players in the history of time. But because it's a rarity, if you're good, if you're above good in the NBA, you do get a lot of press. And that's just a fact. So if anything, Christian McCaffrey playing for Stanford, a team that's right up there in the top 10, the fact that his daddy played in the NFL for many, many years and highly regarded, if anything, the fact that Christian McCaffrey is his daddy's son and the fact that Christian McCaffrey is white would in all other cases elevate him. All right? So I don't understand, the analogy or the comparison or what he's trying to say, what Mike Wilbon's trying to say, and I'm a big fan of Mike Wilbon. I've had him on the show many, many times with the Two Live Stews. Love that show, love PTI, love most of his opinions most of the time, but I tremendously refute the whole notion that being white is hurting Christian McCaffrey. Yes. Yeah. And no other conversation in this country and no other, example can you point to that being white. Special K, the great comedian Special K, used to come on our show all the time back in the day. He used to say this thing like being white is like always having $5 in your pocket. Okay? So we know where we are. We know this country's history. All right? And to be white is never to be wrong, especially in America. I just wanted to say that. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, 404-382-0338. You can also email me. When I heard that, I was like, huh? What? It's hurting him because he's white? Come on, man. No way. No way. As a matter of fact, if he continues at the pace that he's playing at right now and had played in this year, he's a lock to win the Heisman next year. You know? And I've talked about him. Dude is real nice. Now, maybe you're looking at him as a player, and I think a lot of times they tie into it what they project you to be as a pro. And if you watch him play, he's a great player. He's a fantastic player, but he doesn't really have, and I've said this about a lot of players, he doesn't have a lot of wiggle. He has great speed, tremendous quickness, but he doesn't really have a lot of wiggle that some of the greatest running backs have had of all time. I don't know. Maybe that's it. There's been several running backs that I've been critical of that I don't think that are getting a lot of press in college that I don't think they're going to be great pros. I've talked about them. I talked about Derrick Henry. I talked about Rashaan Salam. Never thought they were going to be great pros. Maybe that's some of the sentiment for Christian McCaffrey, but trust me, it ain't because he's white. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show.
Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU.
Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BV Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bvmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bvmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-File, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedugstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Throwback Thursday, December 10th, 2015. One thing we're going to do around here is keep it real, man. I mean, that's all I got. Yes, sir. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. But once again, the easy way to be totally interactive is just to jump into the chat room on Spreaker.com and give me your thoughts. In the first segment, man, I talked about these comments that Mike Wilbon made on PTI, pardon the interruption, saying that the fact that Christian McCaffrey is white is actually hurting him. And I rebuke that whole sentiment. I mean, I do. And I'm looking in the chat right now. Somebody made a very good point, and I'm going to see if I can find it here. From Nino the Rhino. What up, Nino? He says being white would only hurt him if most of the voters were black. And that's a very good point. Maybe you can make an argument for that if the voters are black. But I'm going to guess, and I didn't look this up until I just read this just now. I didn't think to look this up until I just read this. But I'm going to guess 95% of people voting for the Heisman Trophy are white. So you're exactly right. It's kind of like the whole court system thing. You know, your judge, the jury's supposed to be a makeup of your peers. And yeah, exactly. Just like I said earlier, I think the total opposite of what Mike Wilbon was trying to articulate on yesterday. Yeah, the fact that most of the voters for the Heisman Trophy are probably white would actually lend to help itself for Christian McCaffrey in winning the awards. I don't know. What are your thoughts? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. There's been several cats over the years, and I just talked about a couple of them in the last segment. There's been several cats over the years that I didn't think were that great that won the Heisman Trophy. Derrick Henry, who we're talking about right now for this year's Heisman Trophy, is probably going to win it. I don't think he's that dynamic. He broke the SEC record for rushing yards, Herschel Walker's record. But he ain't no Herschel Walker. I mean, a lot of this stuff, you just got to use your eyes. And I always say it, stats lie. And I'm not saying that Christian McCaffrey's stats are lying. I mean, 3,400 yards, like 1,800 yards rushing, like 1,000 yards in return yards as well. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that in any manner. What I am saying is a lot of times stats lie, and you got to use your eyes, okay? And I saw this kid play a couple of times this year. Great player, phenomenal athlete, and his daddy was a phenomenal athlete. He's got incredible straight line speed, okay? One thing I will say is, you know, does this transfer, what he's doing in college, does it transfer to the NFL? I don't know. I don't think so. And everybody's trying to compare him to Barry Sanders. He ain't no Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders had, and the best way I could describe it, is wiggle for days. Barry Sanders would reverse field on your ass. Barry Sanders would plant his feet 2-3 times before a defender got to him and make him look foolish, break their damn ankles. You know, this kid is great. He has tremendous straight line speed. He kind of reminds me of a sprinter. He probably was a track and field guy in high school. The way he looks to me, has great form and everything. Once again, he's a great athlete, but he ain't no Barry Sanders. And if you use your eyes, you can tell that, okay? Now, is the fact that he plays for Stanford, is the fact that he plays in the West Coast, is the fact that he has a lot of return yards, does that have something to do with it? Maybe, but I'm just here to tell you, as the listeners of the Doug Stewart Show, the fact that he's white is not hurting him at all in no aspect of life. Not just football. I'm talking now in life and going forward is not going to hurt that young man. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Shouts out to everybody that tuned in yesterday to the Kicking It with Kesey show as well as the Grizz, man. We actually played both shows following my show on yesterday. And then we replayed them yesterday afternoon as well, man. Shouts out to those guys, man. A great kind of change of pace from my show, obviously a little bit different. My man, the Grizz, real passionate opinions. Kesey kind of laid back, but very opinionated in himself, man. So thank you for tuning in and supporting Stewart Media and Entertainment and all of its shows. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Shouts out to Dabo Sweeney. Dabo is dabbing on them folks as he's going to be named this year's Home Depot Coach of the Year, the head coach for the Clemson Tigers. The awards were announced Wednesday and will be presented tonight as part of the College Football Awards show at the College Football Hall of Fame. So Dabo's winning the Coach of the Year. And you talk about a tremendous job he's done. I've always been a fan of Dabo. He led the Tigers to the 13-0 season this year, undefeated. Atlantic Coast Conference champions at number 1 seed in college football playoffs. Clemson's obviously going to play Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl on December 31st. The Tigers have won 16 straight games, the nation's longest active streak. So a tremendous job by Dabo Sweeney. And you can tell that cat is a born coach. Not only does he talk the talk, but he walks the walk. If you hear him very passionate about his players and about his team in the program, I think he's actually comes from like where'd he play at? I think he actually played college football for Alabama or something like that. So the Alabama football history. So a tremendous job, man. And I remember when Bowden was there. Who was it, Bobby or Tommy? It wasn't Bobby Bowden. It was either Tommy or what's the other Bowden name. But anyway, whenever the Bowden guy was the coach of Clemson Tigers, man, that whole Clemsoning thing came about. They were up and then they were down. They win big games and they lose games that they're supposed to win. So really just no stability for many, many years. As his tenure as the head coach of the Clemson Tigers, man, Dabo, I think they've won or been in the top 10 3 straight years, deservingly winning the Coach of the Year this year in college football, the Home Depot Coach of the Year. So congratulations to Dabo Swinney. Speaking of which, Clemson defensive end Shaq Lawson announced on Tuesday, and I didn't mention this yesterday, he announced on Tuesday that he's going to forego his final eligibility at Clemson, man. He's going to turn pro. You're talking about a guy that's definitely going to be a first-round player. And that's another thing about Dabo. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And I'm not saying all of this, and I'm not a fan of Dabo just because he's a Clemson fan. Maybe that's part of the reason. But another thing about Dabo, what Clemson has done over the last year, is the fact that their entire offensive and defensive lines are new. Like, they got 5 starters on the offensive line, 4 starters on the defensive line. All new starters. So all of these cats are young. A majority of them are like freshmen, redshirt freshmen, and they're the number 1 team in the country. The next couple of years for the Clemson Tigers, man, are going to be tremendous. Yes, sir. They are. I mean, you got a ton of young talent on that Clemson Tiger team, man, and they are going to definitely vie for national championships over the next couple of years. I don't know about this year, and I've said it. To me, it appears, it kind of feels like to me that Alabama's the best team out there. Now, Alabama's had an issue over the last couple of years with these spread offenses and taking their best personnel, which usually is at linebacker, and taking them cats off the field. When you line up 4 and 5 wide receivers, it kind of nullifies what you're trying to do defensively if you're built with those great, fast, big, strong linebackers and defensive linemen. It kind of neutralizes them. So Alabama's had an issue with that type of offense over the last couple of years, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. But to me, on paper, I think Alabama's the best team out there. We will see. I think Clemson can beat anybody, but they haven't been tremendously dominant, and this is just me keeping it real. Once again, this is my home state team. I'm rooting for them. But they haven't looked dominant. They haven't looked like a team that was just ready to roll you over like Alabama does. So I'm hoping Clemson can do it, but if I had to bet, I would probably put my money on Alabama. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. When we get back from the break, we'll talk about some birthdays, and I'll jump into your chat. This is what we do around here on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. Keep it locked. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BV Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bvmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bvmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Dramatic song opening. Yes, sir.
Let's take it back to the streets, mother.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show.
Where my dogs at?
404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. December 10th, 2015. Shouts out to all of the Stewies in the chat room today. I nub new. Hey, if you're new to the show or you didn't listen yesterday, I announced it on yesterday that we are doing New Year's here in the ATL Grown and Sexy style once again this year. That's right. That's right. Grown and Sexy style. I mean, we may not be able to kick it like we used to, and I'm saying we because, you know, my parties are usually designed for people like my age, my peers, so you're talking a little bit older crowd. You're not going to be partying with your kids and their friends. You're just not going to be doing that at the New Year's Eve party I'm throwing. You're not going to do it. So get all the details. All you got to do is go to the Grown and Sexy New Year's Eve Party.com, the Grown and Sexy New Year's Eve Party.com, and get all the details, man. Early bird rates are out there right now. So today we're exactly 3 weeks away from New Year's Eve. So for the next couple of days at least, we're going to have early bird special prices so you can get a table for two. Oh, another thing about my events is a lot of times they're couples oriented, you know, things for husband and wives to do and boyfriend and girlfriends to do. So we have that type of atmosphere. One of the best DJs in the city, DJ D Kaz. You can get a table for two. You can get a table for four. You can get a double date package where you get a price break or whatever if you come with another couple. There's single tickets as well. So come party with your boy for New Year's Eve, man. Last year was incredible. We're doing it again this year, even bigger and better. Go to the Doug Stewart Show, or I'm sorry, that's not the place where you get the tickets. Go to the Grown and Sexy New Year's Eve Party.com. The Grown and New Year's Eve Party.com. Celebrating birthdays today. Matt Forte turns 30 years old. Happy birthday to Matt Forte, running back for the Chicago Bears. Happy birthday to that dude. Solid. It's got to be tough playing running back for Chicago, though. You know, you ain't never going to. It's very unlikely that you're going to surpass the guy that wore number 34 there, as far as in the hearts of fans. But anyway, happy birthday to Matt Forte, 30 years old today. Dion Waiters, 24 years old today. Happy birthday to him. Guard for the who does he play for? Oklahoma City. Happy birthday to him. And also celebrating a birthday today is Raven Simone. Why y'all booing Raven Simone? Raven Simone celebrates her 30th birthday today. You talk about somebody just, just mixed up. I mean, man, and some of the issues and some of the stories that Raven Simone has been involved with over the last couple of years, man. Ever since she's been on The View, she's been espousing these very strange sentiments a lot of times. Let's see. I'm looking at her Wikipedia page. What I'm going to try to do, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, like the most famous person that we talk about on birthdays, I'm going to try to give you a little of their background, their little personal life from their bio, from whatever bio I can find about them online. So this bio says, regarding her sexual orientation, Raven Simone wrote on Twitter in May 2012, my sexual orientation is mine and the person I'm dating to know. I actually like that. That's her business. I always say that about the gay lifestyle. I have no issue with gay people at all. I got to make sure and say that disclaimer. But, it's always fascinating to me why and how, gay people have these big proclamations about them being gay, where they quote unquote come out the closet. It ain't none of nobody's business. I mean, anybody that's heterosexual doesn't make an announcement that they're heterosexual. So I don't get that at all. I mean, I think that's your personal business. If you don't tell anybody what goes on in your house or in your bedroom. So I'm actually with Raven on that. She says, I'm not one for a public display of my life. Exactly. That's kind of what I just said. In August 2013, Raven Simone commented on legalizing same-sex marriage. Okay, so you kind of got a little indicator right there. I was excited. This is a quote from her. I was excited to hear today that more states legalize gay marriage. I, however, am not currently getting married, but it is great to know I can now, should I wish to. All right, so basically that lets the cat out the bag. No pun intended. That lets the cat out the bag that she is gay. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. In October 2014, in an interview with Oprah Winfrey, she acknowledged being in an amazing, happy relationship with her female partner. She also described looking at both boys and girls as possible romantic interests at the age of 12. In the same interview, she explained that she rejects labels in all aspects of her life, despite her racial origin and her same-sex relationship. She refuses to self-identify as either African American or gay. Well, she don't have to do that. I mean, it's plain to see she black as hell. But as an American and as a human who loves humans, in 2015, Raven introduced her partner, Asmarie Livingston. When Raven was 27, she briefly retired from acting and enrolled at Academy of Art University to pursue a degree in fine arts. She was in retirement till she came out to do The View. And she's not messing with that chick Asmarie anymore. So there you have it. Anything and everything you ever wanted to know about Raven Simone on the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Let me read some of this chat here, man. Thank you so much for the chat, man. I said at the top of the show, this is what makes this show the best show. The best sports and guy talk show in America is the chat. Let me read some of your chat here from my man Vince Wright, Big Smooth. He says, hello, Peach Doug. I guess he's referring to the Christian McCaffrey conversation earlier from T-Dub. I like the kid, but hell, he's not even Reggie Bush. Yeah, I agree. But you know what? That's a good comparison. I didn't even think about that. Another West Coast guy. He reminds me of a poor man's Reggie Bush. Yeah, Reggie Bush had that straight ahead speed as well. Reggie Bush had obviously a lot more wiggle, though, which really hadn't served him well in the NFL still. And I like Reggie Bush as a player. I remember when Reggie Bush was coming out, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Me and Ryan had this big thing about Reggie Bush. And I always thought Reggie Bush was just a specialty teams guy. Like, I always thought Reggie Bush, this is a perfect example of what we're talking about. Even back then, I always thought Reggie Bush, when he was at Southern Cal, I never thought he was going to be a great pro. I always looked at him as a return guy, return kicks, return punch, that type of dude. Third down back is what they used to call it back in the day. But I never thought Reggie Bush was going to be this player like Barry Sanders or O.J. Simpson or nothing like that. I never saw it. That's the exact way I feel about Christian McCaffrey. Great player, probably going to be a better college player than pro player. We'll see. Time will tell. But I think that's a great comparison. From RC, Vince, who wins if both were at the best or at their best, Cooney or Klitschko? To be honest with you, and I mentioned Jerry Cooney a little bit earlier, and I think Jerry Cooney died a couple of years ago. There was this whole big thing about Jerry Cooney and Larry Holmes beat the man like he stole something. I don't remember. Obviously, I was much younger. I don't remember Jerry Cooney being that good at all. I just remember Jerry Cooney being a lot of hype. I remember he had heavy hands. I remember he did have heavy hands. He did throw haymakers. But no. From what I remember about Jerry Cooney, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, from what I remember about him and Jerry Cooney and these Klitschko boys, Vladimir Klitschko, Jerry Cooney couldn't stay in that ring with Vladimir Klitschko. I'm not talking about the Vladimir Klitschko that just got his ass whooped by the Fury guy. I'm talking about Klitschko from like 5-6 years ago. Klitschko has been killing fools for the last 10 years. Heavy hands, that's what he got. That's what he had. I would take, Klitschko. I don't know how y'all got to that. Maybe y'all talking about white athletes today for some reason. From Clay Davis's Macon Mitch, a West Coast player hasn't won the Heisman since Reggie Bush. When did Reggie Bush come out? Reggie Bush probably has been out of college football, I'm going to guess, 8 years, 9 years maybe even a little bit long, maybe 10 years. That's interesting. That's probably got a lot to do with it. From Clay Davis's Macon Mitch. This is another guy. We got another guy. Maybe this is the same Clay Davis, but he changed his name. I think Henry and Watson are going to split the South vote. I think Deshaun Watson is probably the best player out of the three. I think that Deshaun Watson probably deserves it, but there's been more hype. And a lot of this has to do with hype. There's been more hype surrounding Derrick Henry, and I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I am not saying Derrick Henry does not deserve the Heisman Trophy. That's fine. If he gets it, that's fine. Matter of fact, if any of these guys get it, it's fine with me. They all had great years. I would be surprised if Christian McCaffrey got it. But I think Derrick or Watson, Deshaun Watson, is deserving as well. He's the quarterback on the undefeated Clemson Tigers, the number one team in the country. And in the past, that's usually been a recipe for winning the Heisman Trophy. A quarterback, your team is undefeated, you're the number one team in the country. Yeah, a lot of times in the past, that's been enough to win it. Off the top of my head, I can think about who? Matt Leinart, Chris Winkie, guys like that won the Heisman Trophy. Who else can I think of? Danny Warfel. Yeah, you're the quarterback of the number one team in the country. Usually in the past, that'll be enough to win the Heisman Trophy with you. This year, for some reason, it's not. And I don't know. And if you look at Deshaun Watson's stats, his stats are phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Maybe the fact that it's Clemson, and I think a lot of people don't respect Clemson. They haven't been in the national championship conversation, since 1981. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. All right, when we get back from the break, man, we'll read more of your chat and Dana White calling the shots in the UFC for real. I tell you what he had to say about a next big time scheduled fight. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices. so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-File, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedugstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Hey, man, have you heard about the Triple F campaign? Hey, thank you to everybody that has donated to the show over the last couple of days since I introduced this Triple F campaign. Thank you very much. Let me say that to start. But if you don't know and you haven't heard and you haven't done it yet, the Triple F campaign stands for $5 for the flavor. That's right, $5 a month. That's 25 cents a day. We do like 20 shows a month, so it averages out to about 25 cents a day. We ask that you donate $5 a month for this flavor of the Doug Stewart Show and the realest, trillest, most unfiltered sports and guy talk show in America. All right? Now, I ask you the question, are you not entertained? And if you're not entertained, then why are you still listening? So which means you are entertained, okay? And so we're asking that you help independent radio, you help this show continue to thrive and do the damn thing. So go to thedugstewartshow.com, thedugstewartshow.com, click on the donate button and donate $5. Just $5 once a month. If we could get the majority of people that listen to the show daily, and we know the numbers, thousands of people listen to this show daily, if we can get the majority of those people, not even the majority of those people, to donate, we can sustain things around here, man, and continue to grow. So go to thedugstewartshow.com, click on the donate button, and in effect, buy your boy a beer. That's all I'm asking. Yes, sir. Buy your boy a beer. Thank you to everybody that has donated. The UFC has targeted a bantamweight title rematch between Holly Holm and Ronda Rousey on July 9th in Las Vegas, despite a report that Holm wishes to fight sooner. UFC President Dana White told the LA Times on Wednesday that it's Rousey next for Holm. Emphatically, that's it. I don't care what this heifer got to say. He didn't actually say that, but that's what he was thinking. The Times printed a story earlier this week quoting Holm's manager Lenny Frequez, stating Holm has interest in fighting Miesha Tate instead. Man, I never thought in a million years, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I never thought in a million years that one of the top headlines in sports would be about two chicks fighting, beating the hell out of each other. But this is 2015. And we living in a time, Fessa. In 2015, big-time sports conversation is about two women getting in a squared circle and beating the hell out of each other. That's not ladylike. That's not ladylike. But, yeah, it looks like Dana White, the president of UFC, says that this fight is going to happen. I don't care what the hell Holly Holm has to say. You're talking about another big-ass payday. This thing got so much viewership, pay-per-view money, man, that it was crazy. So there's an infatuation with it in this country. It is. As crazy as I think it is, and once again, I said this after the fight happened, and whenever we talk about UFC, women fighting or anything like that, man, maybe I'm a caveman. There's nothing illegal about being a caveman in certain aspects, I'm a much more liberal person than I was when I was in my younger days. I was. But two chicks fighting has just never, ever been good. And in my mind, I don't think it ever is going to be good. So I'm not a fan of it, man. But it's making big money, and so it is what it is. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. From Grego. It's a conspiracy against the Browns. They don't want them to draft yet another quarterback and ruin him. So, he says it's a conspiracy against the Browns. Against the Browns? They didn't want them to draft yet another quarterback and ruin him. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what he's referring to. Who's it a conspiracy against the Browns from? From Looseneck's side, Jerry Cooney was the first time I heard the phrase tomato can. Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. I mentioned Jerry Cooney earlier in this whole conversation about the great white hope in boxing and how Larry Holmes just beat that man an inch from his life, from what I remember. And that whole conversation with Christian McCaffrey. From Nick Cash, 334, Bama boy, exactly. I just heard Cooney on satellite not too long ago, too. Laugh out loud. Wait a minute, so did I kill off Jerry Cooney? Wait, Jerry Cooney isn't dead? From Thorny Switch, exactly, Doug. Since when have quarterbacks not been the front runner when their time is number one, when their team is number one? Yeah, not only that, you can tie into the fact, when's the last time a running back has won the Heisman Trophy? And let me see if I can pull up here, and I should have done this, and I apologize. Heisman Trophy winners over the last couple of years. It's been a quarterback-dominated award over the last couple of years. So let's look. Last year, you had Marcus Mariota, who won it, obviously. Jameis Winston won it the year before. Johnny Manziel won it the year before. Robert Griffin III won it the year before. Cam Newton won it the year before. So that's 5 years in a row. And then Mark Ingram won it in 2009. But then before Mark Ingram, Sam Bradford, Tim Tebow, Troy Smith, Matt Leinart, Jason White, Carson Palmer. You see where I'm going with this? Carson Palmer, Eric Crouch, Chris Winkie, and then Ron Dane won it in 1999. So since 2000, there's only been one running back to win the Heisman Trophy, and that was Mark Ingram. Okay? Since 2000. So you're talking 15 years and nothing but quarterbacks winning the Heisman Trophy. So why this year Deshaun Watson's not getting that love like all these other quarterbacks? And I'm looking at some of these quarterbacks, and some of these guys were very, very mediocre. Jason White? What the hell? I forgot all about Jason White till I just read his damn name. Eric Crouch? Eric Crouch was a good player, solid player. He was a guy that would tuck it and run. They ran a lot of, I think they probably ran like a spread-type offense back then where he was a good athlete as well, so he used to run the ball. Chris freaking Winkie at Florida State? Get out of here. Miss me with that. Matt Leinart. And you can't say, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, you can't say that it's because he's a black quarterback or anything like that, because Robert Griffin III, obviously, and Jameis Winston, Troy Smith, there's been a lot of black quarterbacks, Cam Newton, that won the Heisman Trophy as quarterbacks in college football, so that's not a reason. I don't know. I guess maybe it has something to do with the fact that Clemson in the ACC, which once again, I said this about North Carolina, is in a basketball conference, and they haven't really made a lot of noise since they won the national championship back in 1981. Maybe that has something to do with it. Deshaun Watson's also a sophomore, so he's definitely got another year. He's got to come back and play college football. I don't know what it is. I don't know why he's not getting much love, but I would vote for him. Who is more valuable to their team? And that's the question you have to always ask, or that's the question they used to ask whenever talking about the Heisman Trophy. You know, it's not who's the best player. I think that's part of it. Who's the best player? But the question historically has been asked about the Heisman and about the NFL, the MVP is, who is the most valuable player to their team? Okay? You take away Derrick Henry, do you think Alabama still wouldn't win 10 games? I don't know. And chances are they probably got somebody on the bench that's probably going to be just as good or better than him coming up. You take away Christian McCaffrey, that's probably a better argument for Christian McCaffrey as far as most valuable to his team because he does so many things. But you take away Deshaun Watson from Clemson, they don't win 4 games. They win probably 7 games. He probably accounts for 3 or 4 wins by himself. Okay? So if you look at it from that aspect, Deshaun Watson definitely should get more love in this consideration, in this conversation. From K-Mac, if you put D. Watson on any other team in the playoff, they are the favorite to win it all. Not so much of Henry because Bama would shut him down. That's a very good point. That's kind of what I was just saying just now. If you take away Deshaun Watson, and I've watched several Clemson games this year, and even before he got hurt last year, he had taken over the starting quarterback job for Clemson over, I think, like the first game of the year. Now, you got to remember, last year he was a freshman. I think he was a redshirt freshman. And I can't remember, was it Jim Kelly's nephew or the starting quarterback for Clemson at the time in the first couple of games was some ex-pro's nephew or somebody like that. I think it was Jim Kelly. And he sucked. And so they put Deshaun Watson in. They knew about him. Everybody had been talking about him. You know, this kid is going to be the future of Clemson football. And so they had to put him in there early. And then you know what happened? He got hurt, tore his ACL, and he didn't play anymore last year. But yeah, everybody knew Deshaun Watson was going to be that dude. And, I mean, he's proved it. I mean, without that cat on the team this year, man, I don't know where the Clemson Tigers would be. From Lavelle Maestro, Jerry Cooney is still alive. Laugh out loud. Damn, Doug. Jerry Cooney is still alive? Who am I thinking of? Who am I thinking of? White heavyweight that died a couple of years ago. Am I thinking about Tommy Morrison? Am I getting my white heavyweight boxers confused? Now, I knew Tommy Morrison was dead, and I'm sure Tommy Morrison is dead. I'm sure about that. And I do this sometime. I acknowledge it. This is one of my flaws. I kill people that are still actually living. I admit to that. I talked about it yesterday. I had no idea Joan Collins was still alive. I thought that heifer was dead 20 years ago. I had no idea. That's the wrong music, Walter. Can we get the right music in there? I had no idea that Joan Collins was alive. And she actually was on TV the other night. I'm like, is he interviewing a freaking ghost? Because I thought, sure, Joan Collins was dead. But anyway, I have a problem with that. And I apologize to the great Jerry Cooney if he's still alive and walking. I'm sorry, Jerry Cooney. I didn't mean to kill you. I didn't mean to kill you. So when we get back from the break, I'm going to research that. I'm thinking of somebody that's died recently. And I guess maybe I am confusing because I pulled it up and sure enough, Jerry Cooney is alive and kicking. All right, when we get back from the break, we'll try to solve that mystery. I'll tell you about Scream Queens last night. The season finale of Scream Queens. I watched it last night. 2-hour special. That was a good-ass show. I was actually right. I was part right. But we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get back from the break. And also, the latest on Johnny Manziel in Cleveland. They chasing their own damn tail, man. That's why they're the Browns, though. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Get your hand up that dial. Let's face it, the metro Atlanta area is a great place to live, but like most major cities, it has a huge crime problem. Doug Stewart here to tell you about the team of security experts at Strickland Security and Safety Solutions. Strickland Security is an Atlanta-based security company, and whether you need an alarm system installed in your home or business or your current alarm system needs to be repaired, Strickland Security is the solution. Do you need to install or repair an existing camera system in your home or business? Again, Strickland Security is the solution. The management team at Strickland Security has a combined 55 years in the business of protecting people and property. They have certified and licensed technicians that can service all of your security needs. So, if you have crime issues or concerns in your neighborhood, you need to call the experts at Strickland Security. Invite these guys to your next neighborhood watch or homeowners association meeting and let them tell you about all of their security services. One more thing. Go to their website to see their new mobile solutions. They developed a smartphone app specifically for neighborhood crime and safety notifications. For more information, go to their website at stricklandsecurity.com or give them a call at 800-422-9075 and tell them that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975 and work it out.
Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Hour number 2, baby. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Shouts out to my folks, man, at Strickland Security. I've been telling you about Strickland Security for a while, man. They have over 55 years combined experience in the home alarm business. They're not going to try to upsell you. They can get you an alarm system starting at just $15. They can fix your alarm system. They can give you the big boy alarm system. They also got this great thing going on for the holidays, man. They're talking, they have this plan called the Celebrity Night Out Plan. It's security transportation. All right, so when you want to impress your girl or your girlfriend or your wife or something like that, man, have them picked up in a black colored SUV or car vehicle. a guy wearing like a black suit, and stand by and protect you and secure you for the night. So you're talking about if you're planning something special, attending a holiday party, this is real cool. And they have a lot of experience in this. They get a lot of calls. This is Atlanta. This is Black Hollywood. You can imagine. They do a lot of filming here, so they have to cater to stars. So Strickland Security is not only protecting your house, they are also protecting you out on them streets. And so, hey, if you go somewhere, somebody drinking and they start acting stupid and something pops off, you know, you might take Uber, but that Uber cat ain't going to help you fight. My folks at Strickland Security, man, they will get down and dirty with you if they have to. So check on the celebrity transportation service at Strickland Security. Go online and check them out at stricklandsecurity.com. That's stricklandsecurity.com. All right, and the mystery has been solved. The mystery has been solved, and it wasn't Jerry Cooney I was referring to that died. It was actually Jerry Quarry. Jerry Quarry actually fought Muhammad Ali back in the day, got his ass kicked. He also fought Ken Norton back in the day, got his ass kicked. So the whole White Hope theme still applies. So it still applies. I just got them Mickey Fickies confused. Jerry Cooney, God bless him, is still alive and still kicking. The great Jerry Quarry, he went home to glory back in 1999, so he's been going a long time. Now you can imagine how a dude that's taken a lot of hits to the head could confuse Jerry Quarry and Jerry Cooney, both big white guys in the heavyweight division. You can cut me a break on that, right? Damn, Gina. Oh, yeah, the great Jerry Quarry. Yeah, so it was Jerry Quarry versus Ali, Cooney versus Larry Holmes. Both got their ass kicked in the worst way. Cleveland Browns have named Johnny Manziel to start this weekend, and he will, for the foreseeable future, continue to start for the rest of the year. Johnny Manziel spoke about the whole incident that got him benched last week. He said, in effect, that he's improved a lot from last year, and he's prepared to go in and play against San Francisco this weekend. He says, I'm not perfect by any means, but there's been improvement all the way around from the way I've conducted myself in the building and the majority of the time the way I've conducted myself off the field. And he still has some issues, but Cleveland Browns are going to have to start this joker, man, so he's going to start this weekend. They got to see what they got in him. I've always said that. It's clear Mike Pettin doesn't like the guy. It's clear Mike Pettin wouldn't like him to be around. It's clear Mike Pettin doesn't like the way he plays quarterback. And it's clear Mike Pettin doesn't like Mike Pettin, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, that Pettin doesn't like Johnny Manziel as a person, which is understandable. I mean, maybe he's not your type of guy. Maybe you're one of those disciplinarians and you like everybody to be, clean cut. And, maybe that's the way you were raised. But they made the decision to draft this guy in the first round where they did. I think he has a lot of ability. He just needs time on the field to hone his skills. But Cleveland will start Johnny Manziel this weekend. 404-382-0338. Tonight, NFL action. You got the Vikings taking on the Cardinals. That's a good one. Shouts out to my man Vince and his Vikings. Vikings back to life, back to reality last week against the Seattle Seahawks, and maybe that's more of a conversation about the Seahawks and how they're turning things around, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. But tonight, Vikings in Arizona taking on the Cardinals. Vikings a 9-point underdog in this thing. That seems like a lot of points, but if you watch Arizona this year, Arizona, man, looks good as hell. I mean, they look good as hell. I've been a guy that's been very critical of Carson Palmer in the past, but can't take anything away from him now, man. Carson Palmer is having the best year of his career, 29 touchdown passes, 9 interceptions only. He's already passed for 3,600 yards. He's probably going to pass for 5,000 yards this year. The Cardinals look good offensively and defensively. They got stars on both sides of the ball. They always talked about in the NBA, you got to have 3 legit players to start for you. Usually that's been the formula to win an NBA championship. So for the Bulls, they had Jordan, they had Pippen, they had Rodman. Even if you go back to the Lakers had, they always had Magic. They had Kareem, and then they had Worthy. Even with the Lakers, with the second run of championships in the 90s, in the early 90s or whatever, in the mid 90s, early 2000s, with Shaq, Kobe, and then they had Robert Horry. They had Derek Fisher, a consistent guy that could shoot threes, play great defense. In football, man, you look at football, and do they have players on both sides of the balls that can make plays is the way I look at it. Defensively, you got the Peterson guy, cornerback for the Arizona Cardinals. You got the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And on offense, you got, obviously, Larry Fitzgerald. They got playmakers on the offensive side of the ball, and Carson Palmer doing this thing this year. The Cardinals, man, are for real. That's a team that I could see really, even when they went to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, who was it against? Pittsburgh? I didn't think they were going to win. I didn't really think, and even it was a close game. But this year, at no point during that year where they went to the Super Bowl did I think the Cardinals, even though they might get there, that they were going to actually win. Cardinals have been a bad organization and a bad franchise for a long, long time. This year, I can see the Cardinals winning a Super Bowl. I can see them winning it all this year. And so tonight, good Monday night or Thursday night matchup, which a lot of times we don't get a good one. We get a good matchup tonight between the Vikings, who struggled last week but have been playing good of late, taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Can't wait to check that out. My baby girl got a recital tonight. All my damn daughters played the violin when they were in middle school with the middle school orchestra. So I bought one violin. And we had to pass it around. Shut up! And so she's been practicing all year long. And so tonight they have their first little concert performance. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. I think that starts at 7 o'clock. Then after, I'm going to come home and check out this Thursday night game. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. From who we got here? Let's read some of this chat before we get off here. From RC, Corey was a decent fighter. He knocked out hard-hitting Ernie Shavers in the first round, but Ali and Frazier beat him twice, and Norton stopped him as well. Yeah, a little bit before my time, or not before my time. I remember Jerry Quarry, but I was very young. When did Jerry Quarry fight? When was his era of fighting? He fought professionally. Let's look at one of his last fights and one of the fights. The last time Jerry Quarry fought was in 1992. And so the fights that went back when he fought Muhammad Ali, that was in 1970. He fought Muhammad Ali again in 72. And then in 74 is where he lost to Joe Frazier. And in 75, he lost to Ken Norton. So in 75, I was 6 years old. So I remember the name, but I definitely don't remember him actually in the ring. He got a lot of big-time fights. And the fact that, just like we were talking about at the start of the show, the fact that he was an anomaly back then, and really in boxing ever, over the last, 70 years, since Rocky Marciano and them cats retired, he was kind of an anomaly in the fact that he was a good white heavyweight. And so I do remember the great Jerry Quarry. From, who do we got here? From Chico the Alpha, Johnny has more lives, I swear, than Tim Tebow Part 2. A little bit different circumstances, but yeah, kind of comparable. Tim Tebow, Johnny Manziel, they keep getting opportunities. And deservingly so for Johnny Manziel, in my opinion. I'm a Johnny Manziel fan. I want him to get it right. I even put him in the little weekend sports wrap. You better get it right, son. You're going to blow this thing. I get the comparison, though. All right, when we get back from the break, man, more sports talk, as we do every single day. Dez Bryant has an idea, and I'm going to tell you what I think about the whole idea when we get back. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free.
That's Stu for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code Stu, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code Stu. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BV Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-File, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedugstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Triple F campaign. Won't you donate? Triple F stands for $5 for the flavor. That's right, $5 a month. Go to thedugstewartshow.com, click on the donate button, and if you like this flavor that you get on this show, man, Monday through Friday, how about donate $5 just one time a month, all right? All right, so last night, and if you're new to the show, my interests are kind of varying. And somehow, some kind of way, I became a fan of the TV show Scream Queens. Last night, well, actually it happened 2 nights ago, but I missed it, and I watched it last night on DVR. Last night, the season finale, I watched it, and I talked about it a couple weeks ago. I thought that the guy, and I can't remember his name, Pete. I thought Pete was one of the killers, and I was right. Pete was one of the killers. So it was Pete, it was Boone, and then we also found out in the season finale of Scream Queens that Hester was also a Red Devil killer. It's too long to explain if you don't watch it. And if you haven't watched it to this point, you're probably not going to go back and watch it. So I don't have a problem with me just telling you and giving you a revealing everything that happened. But very, very well written, witty show. I mean, that what did he call it? Dark humor. It really depicted how some sorority chicks are, and how we it's kind of like the stereotypes we think of sorority chicks, and obviously stereotypes most of the time are wrong, but very, very funny dialogue in the show. A real funny dialogue, man. And so last night was a season finale. I'm not sure how they're going to do this show going forward. Like, is the show just done? Was this a one-time thing, one hit, and that was it? Or is the show going to continue? Because if you watch it and you saw how it ended, I don't know what else they can do with this whole storyline. Or is it going to be another same type show but a whole different theme? Kind of like the American Horror Story. They have different themes. I think they change the theme of it every year. Maybe they're going to do the same thing for Scream Queens, man. But I actually enjoyed the show, man. It was good stuff. from D. Finley in the chat room on Spreaker.com, and jump in the chat room and be interactive with all the other Stewies. I call it the Fantasy Island of Sports and Guy chat. From D. Finley, he says, Cree was my first natural chick crush. Cree? Who the hell is Cree? From Loose Neck Side, hey, 9-0. Cree was sexy even though she was hugging trees back then. Oh, I know who you're talking about. You must be talking about the chick from, not in Living Color. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You're talking about the chick Cree Summer that was in, her name was Summer. Cree Summer. She was in the spinoff, The Cosby Show. A Different World. How y'all start talking about Cree Summer in the Doug Stewart Show chat room? What led to that? Oh, yeah. I mean, she can get it now. She can get it. Redbone, all of that, you know. From Clay Davis's Making Mitch, Rocky Marciano. He beat Joe Lewis's ass. He did beat Joe Lewis's ass. Joe Louis was 75 years old, though. From Uncle Mike, I went to Santa Monica College with A.J. Saunders. She was a cheerleader. Who the hell is A.J. Saunders? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Okay, so my man, Uncle Mike, you out there in Cali. Speaking of Cali, I was supposed to watch or listen to the dude Kendrick Lamar CD yesterday. I didn't get time to do it. And I promised I was going to do it. I promised I was going to do it. I didn't even get a chance to do it. But I'm going to strive to today after the show is done. So A.J. Saunders, I don't know who that is. I'm looking at her right now, a picture of her online. I don't know who this woman is. Let me see. I already read that one a little bit earlier. From Cornelia Small, she is kind of like that in real life. She grew up on a reservation. Cree Summer grew up on a reservation? Yeah, I remember her character on a Different World is kind of like this when they said tree hugger. I guess a tree hugger is a term, like a slang term for somebody that's in one with nature, environmentalist type person or whatever. Always talking about saving the damn trees and whatnot. Maybe that's what they mean by a tree hugger. So, yeah, her character was kind of like that on A Different World. So she's like that in real life. Now, how did y'all even get talking about Cree Summer? I'm looking in the chat trying to figure that out. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Loose Neck Side, not too many of us remember Welcome Back, Kotter. Epstein was my boy. Oh, yeah, Welcome Back, Kotter. That was the issue. Oh, yeah, we played that music coming back just now from the break. The great Welcome Back, Kotter. Welcome back. Freddie Boom Boom Washington. Theo Epstein. Arnold Horshack. Horshack died. We talked about me killing people off a little bit earlier today. Horshack died, or was it Theo Epstein? One of them two died. And I'm going to try to find out who it is. A second. I don't want to kill off somebody if they, in fact, haven't died yet. I've been doing a lot of that lately. And his name was Theo Epstein, right, from Welcome Back, Kotter. No, Theo Epstein is the general manager of the Boston Red Sox. Now the general manager, the GM of the Chicago Cubs. Theo Epstein. His name was Theo Epstein on the show, wasn't it? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm going to pull up Welcome Back, Kotter here and see about the characters and if they're still alive here on the Doug Stewart Show. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. For Welcome Back, Kotter, here we go. Welcome Back, Kotter series back in 1975. The characters' names were Michael Woodman, Vincent Vinny Barbarino, you know that was John Travolta, Arnold Horshack, played by Ron Paleo, Freddie Boom Boom Washington. Oh, it was Juan Epstein, not Theo Epstein. Get my Epsteins mixed up. But it was Juan Epstein, and he was played by Robert Hayegas. Robert Hayegas died. Well, no, Robert Hayegas is still alive. He died. He did die. He died in 2012, so he died a couple of years ago. Theo Epstein, up your nose with a rubber hose for my Welcome Back, Kotter fans. It was Ron Paleo who played Arnold Horshack. He also died back in 2012. So Theo or Juan Epstein and Arnold Horshack both died back in 2012. R.I.P. to them brothers, man. Yeah, ducking and dodging. Theo Epstein is the GM for the Cubs. I knew that. Mixed that name up. From the 47 Problem, I remember watching Welcome Back Kotter on black and white TV with vice grips as channel changers. I do too, sir. Yeah, that's our era. From Lavelle, Maestro Love, Cree Summers doing voiceovers for video games and kid movies. Yeah, I saw. It really weirds you out when you see a video of someone that does those voiceovers for cartoons. It really weirds you out when you've heard them talk in their normal voice. It really weirds you out when you see that. And somebody sent me a link to this video on YouTube or something like that, a Cree Summer, and she does a ton of these voices for these cartoons in Hollywood, man. And it's really, really weird. She's got a real talent for that, man. A real talent for that. From Chico the Alpha, we talked about them two Patty Pies eating black chicks that was jumping up and down, supporting Trump, setting in just 40 years back. My credit score dropped 60 points after that foolishness. What exactly happened with the Patty Pies, and what happened with that conversation? I missed all of that. The Patty Pie dude, the dude that did the initial video for the Patty Pies, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, the dude that did that initial video is just blown up. He's been hanging out with Patti LaBelle. I'm sure he should. He better be. All the damn money and all the pies he helped sell. But he's blown up. He's been on TV shows. He's doing all kinds of things. Praise God. I mean, somebody got blessed. Yeah. So he's blowing up. And I still hadn't tasted damn pie. The pie can't be that good. There's no way a darn, commercially manufactured pie in Walmart is better than my mama sweet apple pie. I just refuse to believe that. But everybody raves about the damn pie. Patty Pie. From ducking and dodging, Patty didn't want to give him credit. What? I didn't know that part of the story. I haven't been following it like that. My wife was watching all of these videos about that dude and reading all this stuff on blogs or whatever about Patty Pies. I ain't no damn Patty Pie yet. It ain't that serious. From Rel Scott, Doug sounds like Eddie Murphy reading The Prisoner's Mail in the movie line. Your dog and your mama died and the crops didn't come in on account of the storms. The dog had worms, laugh out loud. Yeah. Once again, we are looking for interns on the Doug Stewart Show, all right? We are looking for interns on the Doug Stewart Show. As you can tell, I'm reading all of the chat myself. Waterhead's got his personal responsibilities. Dwayne Bassan and Gerald Oliveri, they're just engineers. They just make sure the website's running nice and clean, and they fix the app if we have any issues with that. So basically, you talk about a one-man show in Hollywood. We are running a one-man show in effect on the Doug Stewart Show, but it's fine. You would never tell. You can never tell unless I read some chat and I get kind of confused in the chat. Outside of that, you can never tell. We run a first-rate operation around here on the Doug Stewart Show. If you have a child, or if you're a child, or if you're in college and you're in broadcasting and you like to get some college credit, even though we're online, a lot of these universities will give you credit for working with this radio show, for our radio show. So if you got someone that's interested in broadcasting, man, we need interns. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. We do need a couple of interns to help with some of the smaller things that we deal with around here on the daily basis, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. When we get back from the break, more of your chat. And I'm looking at this picture of Mark Rick. You talk about going from ashy to classy. Not that Georgia's ashy. Maybe that's not the right comparison. But you talk about going from Athens to Miami? Man, Mark Rick is winning. Don't go away. Keep it locked. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right?
A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BV Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bvmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bvmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Break 'em.
The world's heavyweight champion of sports and guy talk radio. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Hey, man. Would you like to advertise with the Doug Stewart Show or the Two Live Stews? You can do it very easily. All right? As well as a bunch of other services that we offer here on Stewart Media and Entertainment. We can interview you on my show. It's kind of like a promotional interview type thing. Kind of like an infomercial type thing. We can promote you on our social media, which we have close to 12,000 followers on our social media. We got 12,000 just on Twitter. That's right. We got 12,000 followers just on Twitter, another 5,000 on Facebook, another 5,000 on another account on Facebook. Great following on Instagram as well. So we can promote you on our social media. We do voiceovers as well. I do a tremendous urban male voice guy. I can also do a Gullah Geechee guy as well. We can host or speak at your event, play your music on the show. We do it all here at the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, man. We are true hustlers. I saw somebody said that in the chat room, man. Doug is hustling like Hustle Man on Martin. You better believe it. So email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com or just go on Fiverr and check out all the gigs that Stewart Media and Entertainment, home of the Doug Stewart Show, offers, all right? And that's not just on the Doug Stewart Show. That's also on the Two Live Stews as well. The Two Live Stews Saturday mornings on 640 WGST, as well as iHeartRadio. So if you'd like to advertise with me and on the Doug Stewart Show or the Two Live Stews, email me and I'll get you more information. I looked at this picture before we went to the break. It was this little story I came across. Mark Richt had been introduced at the Miami Hurricanes basketball game on Tuesday night. I don't even know who they were playing. Who were they playing? I don't know who they were playing. But anyway, he was introduced like at halftime or something like that. And the crowd just went crazy. And he was smiling and cheesing. had on a Miami jacket or whatnot. And it just kind of struck me, man. You know, Mark Richt went from Athens, Georgia, okay? And people that aren't from Georgia and don't know the geography of the state, like Athens is an hour away from Atlanta. So there's no semblance of city life in Athens at all. Ain't nothing but cornfields and stuff like that. You know, it's like the country. So Mark Richt went from Athens, Georgia to Miami, Florida. Holy cow. Now, he played at Miami, so he knows how it is down there, but I don't know if Miami had the brand that it has now with everything that goes on South Beach and, you know, all of the rappers down there, the rappers making kind of a big name for themselves, all the opulence in Miami. Me and the wife went down there. It's probably been about 2 months now. And that's outside of Vegas, that's my favorite place in the world. I mean, everything you need is there. It's expensive as hell. I mean, you're going to pay $40 for breakfast, which is so bad to me. But, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's money down there. It's money and it's big time and it's beach and there's chicks walk around naked and it's King of Diamonds or Kings and Queens or whatever that strip club the size of a Walmart is down there. I don't know what it is, but I've been in there. And Mark Richt went from Athens to Miami. Oh, wow. I can only imagine now. He's an older cat, very tied into his faith, so he's not going to get in the shenanigans. He's not going to be kicking it with Rick Ross or anybody like that. But, I mean, that's just a real change of pace. And I don't know if he has young kids or not, man, but his kids going from Athens to Miami is very, very intriguing to me, man. 404-382-0338. Also, man, Dez Bryant wants to be part of this committee that Roger Goodell has talked about and coming together and figuring out exactly what is a catch. Yeah, you heard me. Roger Goodell is going to put together some type of committee. His plans is to put together some type of committee to come to some type of understanding, mutual understanding, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, on what is and what isn't a catch. My whole thought on this, and Dez and Calvin Johnson both said that if they're going to do something like that they'd like to be part of the committee. They like for their voice to be heard and what is a catch and what isn't a catch. My thought on it is they just need to simplify it. They just need to go back to what a catch was back in 1980. And back in 1980, a catch was just that, a catch. Right. If you possess the football, if you control the football for a second or more, that is a catch to me. All of this stuff about a football move, you have to have place, obviously you have to have 2 feet to touch the ground. But a football move, and not even 2 feet on the ground. I think 2 feet on the ground when you're talking about a receiver catching the ball and going out of bounds. I understand that in that scenario. But in the middle of the field, or if you're crossing into the end zone, a catch to me should be very simple. It's if you catch the ball. And if you maintain possession for a second, for 1 second, to me, that's a catch. They have oversimplified this thing. They have. A football move. You have to have complete possession when he comes to the ground. But when I was growing up, the ground couldn't cause a fumble. Somehow or another, they mixed that whole thing into it. No, to me, a catch is a catch. If you maintain the ball for 1 second, that's a catch. Now, after that 1 second, if you get hit by a defensive back and you fumble a football, then it is what it is. That's a fumble. And that's not what they've been doing in the NFL for the last couple of years, man. It's become very convoluted. Just go back to the original word, a catch. What is a catch? A catch is a catch where they possess the ball for a second. That should be a catch. You don't need to bring Dez Bryant or anybody in there like that. Just call it what it is. The definition of a catch is just that, a catch. Go back to that, and I think they'll be fine. 404-382-0338. Thank you to the studio audience. It ain't that hard. That whole thing, what happened last year in the Green Bay game with Dez Bryant, what happened a couple of years ago with Calvin Bryant in the back of the end zone, they caught the ball. They caught the ball, and when they hit the ground, maybe the ball juggling around or whatever, that doesn't matter. That's after the fact. And if you're in the end zone and the ball comes out when you hit the ground, it doesn't matter. You already crossed the plane. So it shouldn't be a touchdown anyway. So anything that happens after the fact you cross the plane where you clearly control the football is irrelevant. Like, why they make this thing so hard? A catch is a catch. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Doug Stewart, what's happening?
What's up? What's up? Who's this?
T from Huntsville, sir.
T from Huntsville. What up, baby?
Oh, man, just enjoying the show, man. And just enjoying the show, man, as always, man. I just wanted to get in real quick on what Mr. Michael Wilbon was talking about.
Yeah, I'm very interested to hear what my man T from Huntsville, a.k.a. the sports Malcolm X, got to say about it.
Yeah, man, I mean, okay, everybody needs to understand and get a full understanding of what's going on. So if you'd allow me, I'd like to give a quick synopsis for the struggles of the white American male and or Anglo-Saxon and or colonizer, if you will.
Go ahead, T.
So what happened is, man, they okay, you have to understand, they came from Europe. They were headed in one direction of the country and ended up on the other side of the world. Discovered a new land, and when they got there, it was a bunch of naked savages. So they had to fix the place that they discovered that nobody was on. They had to get rid of those people and get the land ready. Now, once they did that, they had to bring in immigrant workers. Now, once they did that, they were able to build up their wealth and get the land done. Now, laws came along and regulations that they lost their free labor. And then throughout time, that free labor actually started to live in their neighborhoods, work with them, and God forbid, their kids actually went to school with those people. So you have to understand all of these struggles and these strifes that they've gone through and why life is so hard for them, because they've been through a lot when society has changed in a way that they're not pleased with. So obviously I understand, well, man, okay, obviously I'm BS. But look, see, my point is, if any of that made sense to you, your name is probably Michael Wilbon or Stephen A. Smith. At the end of the day, in a metaphorical sense, black people in this country are treading water. So it makes no sense for me to feel sorry for a guy going by in a rowboat complaining that his arms are tired.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous that he brought this up as a subject with all the things going on in sports, especially Cam Newton and Deshaun Watson being ignored. So, man, that's all I had, man. That's you kept still on that. You said everything that needed to be said. You preached this morning. I just wanted to drop that a little bit, man. I'm gone.
Appreciate the call, T. Yeah, and a great analogy T just used right there. You know, black people are treading water, man. I mean, there's no denying that. I mean, we all know that. And it's hard for me to feel sorry for somebody coming by on a motorboat. I think T talked about a rowboat. It's hard for me to feel sorry for Christian McCaffrey, or for me to feel like Christian McCaffrey is being done wrong some kind of way. Are you kidding? That will never be the scenario in this country. Never. You know? And I agree with Wilbon. If you're just joining the show late today, I just vehemently disagree with Mike Wilbon's assessment that somehow Christian McCaffrey is being done wrong because he's white. You know, and I said at the top of the show, there's no circumstance that you can point to, I mean, none, ever, now or in the past, that in this country, being white has been a negative thing. Or you lose something because you're white. No, I'm just not going to buy into that. I disagree with Mike Wilbon on that. Agree with him on a lot of the things that he says. But that came across my my timeline yesterday, and I responded to the question the same way. No, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. If anything, Christian McCaffrey being who he is has helped him in every aspect of his life, not just in football, not just in sports. All right, don't go away. When we get back from the break, man, we'll wrap up today's show, and I'll read some of your chat. We'll do that, man. Y'all are my co-hosts, my wingmen. Thank you so much for the chat. This is the Doug Stewart Show.
Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-File, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedugstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7.
If you're not stewing, what the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to my people, man. Shouts out to the Stewies. If you're trying to find a place to party in New Year's, not with kids, you're trying to party with grown folks, come party with your boy, man. I'm throwing a New Year's Eve party this year again at the Ramada Plaza, Capitol Plaza, downtown ATL. Real fly ballroom, real fly, real nice. Everything's going to be done up. If you go to the Grown and Sexy New Year's Eve party, you'll get all the details. They actually have some rooms blocked off for the listeners and for people that hear about the event. So there's a phone number as well on that website. So go online, the Grown and Sexy New Year's Eve Party.com. Very easy to remember, the Grown and Sexy New Year's Eve Party.com. And come bring in New Year's with your boy, man. We're 3 weeks away today. Y'all know I only do things first class, upscale for these events. So come on through and holler at your boy. From the Oklahoma Sigma, he says, funny story about Wright or about Richt. Yeah, spell check, man. Help a brother out with the spell check. I don't even know if they have a spell checked in the chat room on Spreaker.com. He says, funny story about Rick attending Miami expecting to become a big-time quarterback. He's got bug time. Only Jim Kelly was there. By the time Rick was a senior, Vinny Testaverde had the job. Rick then went to the NFL. He tried to get a tryout with the Denver Broncos, only to find out that they drafted John Elway. So he got another tryout with the Dolphins, but they just drafted Dan Marino, laughing my ass off. Hashtag destined to be a coach. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. From Texas Ty, he says, Reggie Bush put up these kind of numbers. He was hyped up like crazy. Of course he was putting the moves on. I don't know what he means by that. But McCaffrey has put up better numbers and gets 1/3 the hype. That's true. He does not get the hype of Reggie Bush. But once again, Texas Ty never said that he wasn't a great player. Maybe it has something to do that a lot of his yardage is return yards. Maybe it has something to do he plays for Stanford. kind of like the Duke of the West Coast. Maybe the fact that he plays for Stanford and not USC like Reggie Bush did. Was he as heralded coming out of high school as Reggie Bush was? Reggie Bush was like an urban legend coming out of high school. Like, we knew about Reggie Bush coming out of high school and signing with USC when he came out. It does help Christian McCaffrey that his daddy played in the NFL, was a great player in the NFL for a long time, won Super Bowls with the Denver Broncos. I don't know. But I 100%, for whatever reason it is, I 100% rebuke the whole notion that because he's white is hurting Christian McCaffrey. No, that's never been the case in any walk of life, in any industry in this country, on getting a job and being heralded. No. Stop. I'm ducking and dodging. Herm doesn't like talking about anything but X's and O's. Ooh, maybe you're talking about Herm Edwards on yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, maybe it was yesterday. So Herm Edwards just goes crazy, and that's what he does. And I like Herm. Good guy. No issues with him. But Herm is, what's the best way to put this? Like I've called Chris Carter in the past, like I've called Michael Irvin in the past. Herm Edwards is a drama queen. Yeah. So Herm Edwards, man, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. They had this little discussion on the little NFL show, and they bring up this whole discussion about Shady McCoy calling out, his relationship with Chip Kelly. Buffalo plays Philadelphia this week, I believe. And so he's going off on Chip Kelly. And then also DeMarco Murray with this whole issue where he kind of questions Chip Kelly again, and Chip Kelly's name comes up again, and questioning his carries in the offense and his role in the offense. And Herm Edwards just goes crazy. He just goes mad, ballistic. I'm sure you can Google it, YouTube it. He just goes ham about these players talking about the coach. And he's just irate, and he's screaming, and he's spitting all over the place. He's just losing his freaking mind. And Herm, obviously he was a coach, played in the NFL. He doesn't like that type of stuff. He was a coach, and he doesn't like to hear players talk about coaches. Players should be players. They should stop being, trying to be the coach and tell the coach what to do. Players just need to be players. And I hate this kind of talk. And he just goes ham. That's my best Herm Edwards impersonation. I tried. Shut up. And so, you need to watch this dude. And sometimes, once in a while, we're passionate. Me and Herm Edwards are alike, and we're passionate about what we're talking about. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. But we're passionate, and so sometimes, before I even know it, I've already started screaming in this studio, man. I've been screaming for 5-10 minutes, and I don't even realize it. Herm Edwards is the same way. This ninja went crazy yesterday, man. He went crazy. And I'm sitting down in my living room, and I'm like, dude, calm down. And it was Darren, what was his name? Darren, the safety to play for the Dallas Cowboys. He was in there with him. And Darren Woodson, that's his name. Darren Woodson was kind of trying to make Herm understand that it's a different day and time. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And it's a different day and time. Social media. These players know what they're worth today as compared to when he played. Herm Edwards played back in like the late 70s, early 80s. Okay? And Darren Woodson was trying to tell him, man, it's just different. These players are different. They're cast from a different mold than you are, coach. And Herm's just losing it. Like, he's going crazy. And it's entertaining TV, I guess, but I was like, dude, it's not that serious. And a lot of that stuff, man, I don't know whether he's just prepping for the cameras or not. It seems sincere. See, him and Ray Lewis are very sincere. Like for Chris Carter and Michael Irvin, this is my personal opinion. I don't care if you tell him or not. You don't care if you email him and tell him Doug Stewart been talking about him or not. In my opinion, a lot of the stuff Chris Carter does, man, when he goes on these tirades, and Michael Irvin, same thing, man. A lot of the stuff they do, man, they just blowhards. They just doing this stuff for the cameras. I don't believe that with Herm Edwards. I believe that's just who he is. And I also don't believe that for Ray Lewis. And people give Ray Lewis a hard way to go. And they got this dude doing Ray Lewis impersonations on social media, which is great. It's funny as hell. But I believe that's who they are. They're passionate. You know, I don't think there's no faking it at all. I just wanted to say to myself, damn, is that how I act when I get on a tirade on my show? When I'm watching Herm Edwards yesterday? Like, he just blew a gasket. Very entertaining stuff, though. Dude went crazy. From Cornelius Small, he says he transformed into Alter Beast. From Grego, I hear a lot of fans saying that they don't want a white running back. I don't ask why, but I see that a lot. Who would say that? I wouldn't say anything like that. If I thought that you had the skill set to be a dominant running back in the NFL, I wouldn't care what color you are. What's his name? Jason Sehorn. Jason Sehorn, another kind of aberration type as far as stereotypes in the NFL. Jason Sehorn was a white cornerback. Jason Sehorn was a solid cornerback. Like, I never said, you know, watching Jason Sehorn for many years when he played for the Giants, that he has his job just because he's white. That never crossed my mind. Never. Jason Sehorn was a beast. Another position that you don't see a lot of white players in the NFL, wide receiver. You know, never said that Chris Collinsworth wasn't a great wide receiver, or Steve Largent wasn't a great wide receiver, or Ed McCaffrey, interesting enough, wasn't a great wide receiver. Never said that. You know. So yeah. I haven't heard anybody say that. Grego, was that Grego who said that? Let's see. Yeah, Grego said that. I've never heard anybody say we don't want him because he's a white running back. Nah, I've never heard that. From Dollars and Cents, Rick knows his ish, and I think, and I lost the email, I'm sorry. You're talking about the dude Riddick, the GM guy that they have on the Puppet Factory that always talks about football. From Chico the Alpha, being white has its disadvantages. If you get your check cashed at a liquor store, might not make it out. Okay, see, now you got jokes. You got jokes. If that's the only thing you can point to where being white is a disadvantage, then they'll be fine. It'll be okay. Oh, that's hilarious. That's pretty funny. Yeah, Darren Woodson was looking at, somebody said Darren Woodson was looking at Herm like he's crazy as hell. Like, Darren Woodson probably was saying to himself, what's the matter with this man? I mean, Herm went crazy. He went crazy. Who is Chris Carter? Or Chris Carter? And I know why I said probably Carter. I actually used to work with a guy named Chris Carter. Cotter. Like Mr. Carter. Or Welcome Back Carter. But I talked about Welcome Back Kotter earlier today, and I also used to work with a guy named Chris Cotter that now works as an in-studio host on ESPN, talking college football. Search Chris Cotter, Kotter, I believe the way he spells his name. But he pronounced his name Cotter and not Carter. And I used to work with him at the radio station we worked with here in Atlanta before he blew up and doing big-time things. Real solid guy. Hey, man, thank you so much for tuning into the Doug Stewart Show today. If you're new to the show, this is how we do it around here. You're going to hear sports talk and guy talk and opinions on this show that you won't hear anywhere else. We're keeping it real goes right here on the Doug Stewart Show, man. Thank you to all of the Stewies that tuned in today. Thank you. Shouts out to my man, Waterhead Walter, Dwayne Bassan, Gerald Oliveri as well, the engineers to the show. Thank you. All right, when we come back tomorrow, man, it'll be more of the same. All right, sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce. Fantastic, freaky, funny football Friday tomorrow. Y'all be careful in them streets. Peace.